Hello, welcome to Flourish Computers Academy. Today I'll be teaching you on computer keyboard training for beginners. Whether you're a beginner or you are advanced in using computer, I believe there is something for you to learn in this video. So I will encourage you to stay glued to your screen and watch to the end. I did a survey recently, to check which keys on the keyboard are people actually not using. And I discovered that a lot of people are actually not using many of the keys that we have on the keyboard. So either because they don't know how to use it or for any other reason whatsoever. So it's important for us to actually have this class. That is why I decided to do this video. I'm going to be showing you the keys on your keyboard and how they are grouped, okay, and what you can use each of them for. It's important to understand this because remember, a keyboard is the input device. So the more skillful you are in using the keyboard, the faster you are going to be able to input text into your computer. And that is very important skill to have. So there are some keys on the keyboard that you may not have even used before, or you have used them before but probably you don't get familiar with them. I'm going to be showing you all of those keys in this training. So watch to the end, and let me use this medium as well to say thank you to everyone who are subscribed to this channel. You have watched one or two of my videos and you are subscribed to the channel. I appreciate you for doing so. For others who are watching but you have not subscribed, I want to encourage you to go ahead and click the subscription button right now, and also turn on your notification bell because we have a lot of training coming on, free video training that we'll be doing in learning computer. From here we are going to be moving to several other areas of information technology. We're going to be having classes on computer networking. We're going to be having classes on web design. We're going to be having classes on cyber security. We're going to be having classes as well on data analytics. So I want to encourage you to subscribe right now and turn on your notification bell so you can be notified whenever I do any of those videos and I upload them. Also, in one of the previous videos I did, I said it that if you are on the hot seat and you need help regarding any of computer application or issues, you can go ahead and drop message in the comment section of any of the videos. I will respond to them. Recently, I got a chat from someone from one of the African countries asking for help when the monitor turned pink. His monitor turned pink, and then he dropped a chat for me on the WhatsApp, and I was able to respond to that, and that issue was resolved. So if you have any issue whatsoever, take advantage of this platform that we have put in place in order to reach out to me, and then I'm going to respond to that. So this is the official WhatsApp number. You can chat or you drop a comment in the video section, in the comment section of this video, and definitely we will reply to that in due course. Now let's go ahead to what we have today. We'll be looking at how the keyboards are organized. If you are using a laptop or you are using a desktop, so it does not matter the keys that you have on the laptop, you also have many of them on the desktop. As a matter of fact, you have all of them on the desktop keyboard as well. However, the layout may be different, so that is why I want to quickly show you the layout that we have both on the desktop and on the laptop. Now, on the left side of the screen, this is the layout for the laptop keyboard, and on the right side we have the layout for the desktop keyboard. So on the desktop keyboard, this area is actually where you have the keypad, this keypad area. But on the laptop, your keypad is actually the numeric keypad. On the desktop, the numeric keypad area is actually a dedicated area on the desktop keyboard, and this is the area that you can see my laser pointer is actually referring to. But when it comes to the laptop, your numeric keypad is actually the second row on the keyboard. So, and you have it as 1, 2, 3 up to 0 there, and you have some other character on that particular keypad that we have. So, and it's also important to know that the keys on the computer keyboard can be divided into several groups based on the function that they perform. So we are going to be looking at those groups. As you can see, we have the control group. That is the red group that we have over here. Those are the control group. Then we have the function group. That is the first row on your keyboard, the first row on your keyboard at the top is actually the function group. That is where we have F1 to F12. You can see it on the laptop keyboard as well. And then we have the typing alphanumeric key. This is where you have your A to Z, and then you have the 1, 2, 3 number and all other special character that we have on the keyboard, like the art, your plus, your minus sign, multiplication sign. All of them, they are referred to as alphanumeric keys because they consist of alphabet, number, and special character that we have. And then another group on the keyboard that we have is navigation keys. So these navigation key areas on your desktop keyboard, whereas the navigation key area on the laptop, you can see the arrow keys here, the page up, the page down, they are actually your navigation key on the laptop. And then the file, we have the numeric keypad as well. We've talked about that. And then we have the indicator light. So this indicator light that we have on the desktop keyboard is not actually available on the laptop keyboard because there is no need for that indication light over there. So we are going to be looking at quickly each of these group and how to use them. The control keys, the function keys, the typing keys, the navigation keys, numeric keypad as well. So that is what we are going to be looking at. Now, let's start with the control keys. The control keys, they are special keys on your keyboard, okay, that we refer to as control keys. We are going to look at each of those keys. But take note of something. These control keys on their own, if you press them, it will do nothing. So the control keys actually work in combination with another key in order for you to be able to use them and get them to work. You use in combination with other keys. The first one we are looking at is control itself, which is CTRL. These keys, there are two of them on your keyboard. Okay, whether you are using a desktop or you are using a laptop, on the keyboard we have two control keys there. So we have them as the last row on your keyboard. On the left of the spacebar and on the right of the spacebar, you will have the control key. How do you use the control key? You can do control A. You know, we said that these control keys are used in combination with other keys on the keyboard in order to be able to get the function to work. So if I use control A, it means that I want to select all the text that is on the screen. That is the shortcut, control A. That is, you press control and A simultaneously on your keyboard. When you do that, you select all the text, you highlight all the text on the screen. Control B is to bold a particular text. If you highlight a text and you press control and letter B simultaneously, it means that you want to bold. If you do control C, it means you want to copy. Okay, control D, you want to duplicate. So that is how the control keys actually work. That's how control key actually works. It works in combination with other keys on the keyboard in order to be able to work. Then the second one is Alt. The Alt key, there are two of them as well on the keyboard. The Alt key is just next to the space bar. Remember, your space bar is the longest key on the keyboard. So on the left of the space bar key, you have the Alt key, and on the right, you have the Alt key. So this key also, they are used in combination with other keys on the keyboard in order to get them to work. For example, if you press Alt F4, Alt plus F4 simultaneously on your keyboard, that could help you to shut down your computer. If you press Alt and F3 on your keyboard, it means that if you highlight a text, you can change it to either uppercase or lowercase as the case may be. And then you can use it in combination like three. If you press Alt, Control, okay, and delete key, okay, that will also enable you to be able to shut down your system. So that is actually what the Alt key does as well. But you may want to ask, why do we have the two of them on the keyboard? Why do we have some of these key as a double keys on the keyboard, like the Alt and Control key? Now, it makes it easier for you. If, for example, I want to do Control A and I want to do Control P. Control P is to print. You can imagine if I have it only on the left side of the keyboard, that means if I press Control here, my finger will be so stretched and some even second finger will not be able to get to P. So it's easier for you to be able to access Control with all other keys that you have on the right side, and then you use Control with all other keys that you have on the left side whenever you need to do so. That is why we have Control, Alt, especially the control key that we use in combination with other key as double keys on the keyboard. The next one is the Windows key. This is just a window logo. If you press the window logo, you can see it also on the keyboard here. If you press it, it will pop out the start button on your computer, and from there you can actually type if you are searching for something, or from there you want to go to program file and every other area of your computer. Then we have another key which is escape key. It's called cancel key as well. So what that key does is to cancel the current task or dialog box. If there's a dialog box that pop up on your screen and you want to cancel it, you can actually use the escape key, ESK. So if you see the key at the top, is the first key on the keyboard, the first one on the left corner at the top of your keyboard. Before you have F1, F2, before the function key, that is where you have the cancel key. So if something pop up like this sliding I'm doing currently now, if I want to stop the PowerPoint presentation to go to the normal PowerPoint, all I need to do is to press the escape key, the cancel key. That will cancel the PowerPoint presentation and then go straight to the normal PowerPoint. So that is how to use those keys. And like I said, is the first one there. And the final one that we're going to discuss under control keys is the shift key. Now, the shift key, as the name it implies, okay, when you press it, it allows you to shift the function on the key. Now, there are some keys on the keyboard, the keypad, okay, that has double function. For example, you can see one. If you see one, then you see exclamation mark at the top. You see number two, the key that contain two, also have at, 3 hash, 4 dollar sign, 5, and then a percentage symbol. And then you can see 7 with ampersand and so on and so forth. Now, if you press 1 as it is, as you can see on the screen, what you are going to have on the screen is number 1. If you press this, you are going to have number 2. But what happens if I want to access the second function on those keys, like exclamation mark, at symbol, and then dollar sign and so on? Then you press the shift in order to activate the second function on the key. So that is what the shift key does is used for. So you can use it to access all the second function that you have on your keyboard, the keypad. Now let's go to the next is the typing text. Now this we have already discussed some of this key in the previous slide over there. We've talked about the shift key, what is used for. You can also use it as well to type uppercase and lowercase. Instead of pressing the caps lock to turn on capital letter on your keypad, on your keyboard, you can press shift and a letter. If I press shift A, it's going to type uppercase A. Okay, if I did not press shift A, by default, if you press A on your keyboard, it's going to type lowercase a. So if I want to type in capital letter, I can actually press the shift key and the letter that I want to type in capital. Or I go ahead and press the caps lock key in order to do that. Now, another interesting key that I want to quickly talk about is the tab key. Now, if you press the tab key, it will move your cursor several spaces forward. So you can press the tab to move to the next text box on a form. If you are filling a form or if you are working on a table, okay, if you create a table in a Microsoft Word and you want to jump from one cell to the other, you can use the tab key to move. If you are filling a form, you want to move from one field to the other in a form, you can also use the tab key. But if you are working on a Microsoft Word and you want to create spaces, okay, before you start typing, like creating a paragraph in a document that you are working on, you can actually use the tab key to do that. And the advantage of tab key compared to the space bar that we're going to talk about next is that the space bar is going to create a single space, right? If you need multiple space, that means you are going to press a space bar multiple times. That is not the best way to use it. The space bar is just meant for a single space. That if you need multiple spaces to be created on your document, use the tab key on the keyboard. And I believe that you all know what the enter key is all about. This is the enter key. If you press the enter key, is to enable you to move to the next line when you are working on a document. Or if you are filling a form and you want to submit the form, you press the enter to submit the form. You press the enter to go to accept. You press the enter to jump from one line if you are working on a Microsoft Word to another line. You are done with a paragraph, you want to go to another paragraph, you can use the enter key to do that. Now let's talk about the backspace key. which is this key down here. Now, if you press the backspace key, that is to delete based on the position of the cursor. It will delete backward. If your cursor is in a particular location and you need to delete backward, you use the backspace. If you need to delete forward, you use the normal delete key on your keyboard. Now, look at the example I want to give you here. If my cursor is after E in delete, okay, and we want to delete the THE, then I'm going to use the normal delete. But if my cursor is after E here, in between delete and D, and I want to delete, what I need to use is to use the backspace key. The backspace key will delete backward, while the normal delete will delete forward, depending on the position of the cursor. The next group is the function keys. The function keys are used to perform specific tasks on your computer. They are labeled on the keyboard as F1 to F12. The F means function 1, function 2, up to function 12. That is how they are labeled, and that is the first row on your keyboard, as you can see on the screen right here. The function keys perform a wide variety of important functions, though the functions they perform varies from one application to another. What do I mean by that? If I use F5 on a particular application, what it does will be different from another application. So, but depending on what you are working on. Now, I'm going to show you, especially if you are working on a Microsoft Word document or Microsoft Office, some of the key important function key that you can use in order to get your job done faster or whatever you are doing. Let's look at some of those functions right now. Now, these are Microsoft Word here. Let's talk about the F1 key. What is the job of F1? F1 is used to open app browser. You know, all the application that has been developed, especially Microsoft Office, if you need to access app, if you are working on a document and then you've learned how to save a document and you cannot remember how to do that again, or how to print a document, while working you can actually press the F1 key on your keyboard, and that will actually pop out the help button. That help button, help dialog box, it will pop out the help dialog box, and from there you can search what you are looking for. So that is what F1 is all about. Now on my keyboard right now, I press F1, and then when I press F1, you can see that help actually pop out on the right side of the screen. Now let's see what happened. You can see right now. So I can type whatever I want to do here. Okay, I can do save as PDF, save as whatever one I want to do here. If I click on it, it's going to give me the option on how to go about that to actually work on it. So that is what F1 is meant for. If you are working on Microsoft Word, you are working on PowerPoint, you can see if I scroll down here, this is delete a page. How do you do that? If I click on it, it gives me the option on how to go about that. So F is available in all the Office applications, and you can access them by pressing F1. It's not only in Microsoft application, in many other applications as well. F1 function 1 key is actually known as your help key. It can help you to actually bring out a dialog box where you can interact, okay, with the dialog box to be able to know what to do regarding whatever you are working on. Now let's talk about the F2. F2 can help you to rename a file. If you have a file on your system, you have saved it with a particular name before and you want to rename it, you can actually press the F2 in order to do a rename quick. If I want to rename any of the file that I have on my desktop right now, all I need to do is actually to right click. That's the traditional way of doing it. Okay, and I go to rename. Right after right click, I go to rename now, and I click rename. I type the name I want to give to it, but instead of going through that long process, I can just click on the file and press F2, then I change the name. So that is actually how to use F2, which is function 2. It helps you to rename a file on your system. F3 can help with different search feature. What about F4? We can use it to open address bar in a window explorer. This is our window explorer. I want to open the address bar. I can press F4, and then I can check through any of the address bar that I have there. So that's what F4 does. You can use it to open address bar in Windows Explorer. F5 can be used to refresh. If you are browsing a page on the internet and the page is not loading properly, you want to refresh the page, or the page has loaded but it's not displaying the images or the video that you have on that page properly, you want to refresh, you can use F5 key on any of the browser, whether Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, or whatever it is. If you press F5, that is going to refresh your page. If you press F5 in PowerPoint, that is going to start a slideshow. Remember, we have said it that the function key work differently based on different application. Okay, if you use F5 in Microsoft Word, like I am on Microsoft Word right now, that is going to bring out go to command dialog box. Go to. Now look at what happens if I press F5. Now I have go to where I want to jump from this page I am working on currently, probably to another page, to page 30, to page 40. If the document you are working on is up to 50 pages and you're on page 1, you want to go to page 30, you want to go to page 40, instead of you to start moving with the navigation key on your keypad, you can actually use the F5 key as a shortcut. It will bring out the dialog, but then you type the page you want to go into. If I want to go to page 8, I type page 8. I can click go to or I press enter on my keyboard. This document is just a single page. You can try it on your end with a multiple pages of document. You will see it jumping to that page that you want to go into. That's what F5 key is used for. So the F6 key is actually, when you press the F6 key, it moves the cursor to the address bar on your Internet Explorer. Now, if you are not working with a mouse and you want to go to the address bar on the Internet Explorer, usually we use the tab key to be able to move around if the mouse is not working or something is not working with your mouse. Actually, for you to go to the address bar where you can type maybe www or whatever you want to type there, a website address, you can use the F6 key. F6 key will jump straight, move your cursor to the address bar. Now, we talk about the F7 right now. The F7 open the thesaurus, the spell checker or grammar on your system. I love that function so much. If you are done typing a document and you want to spell check, you want to check the grammar if there's any error in the document, there's a usual way of doing it by going to review. But instead of you going to the review on the menu, you can easily press the F7 key, which is function 7, on your keyboard, and that is going to run a spell check and grammar check for you. Press F7 right now. You can see spelling and grammar check is complete and everything look good on the screen. So that is what F7 is used for. F8 is a save mode key. When you are working as an engineer on a computer and we want to restart the computer with limited function and program. We don't want all the program to run because we are troubleshooting. We don't know why the computer is behaving the way it's behaving. I want to run the computer to start in a safe mode. In that mode, many of the application will not run. That case, you use the F8 key to restart the computer in a safe mode. Now we have F9. F9 key is used to send and receive email. Now, if you are using a Microsoft Outlook, okay, on your system, and you want to send or receive email, you want to refresh your email to know whether email has come in or the one you have in the outbox, you want it to go out, you can press F9 to send and receive email. What about F10? F10 activates the menu bar. This is Microsoft Word. It's used in Microsoft Word. If I press F10, you can see the menu bar is activated on my screen. Now, that is what F10 does for us. Then F11 can promote full screen mode on the Internet Explorer. If you are working with any browser and you want to go to the full screen mode, just press F11. That will go to the full screen mode. Now, F12, which is the final keys that we have as a function key on the keyboard. What can we use F12 to do? If you press the F12 on your keyboard, it will automatically open Save As dialog box in all of the Microsoft Office applications. So if you want to save this file, for example, I want to do Save As. Instead of me to come over or press Ctrl S or come to File and click Save As, I can just quickly press F12 and then I have access to Save As dialog box, and then you can save it. If you do that in Microsoft PowerPoint or Excel, you are going to have the same result. F12 is used to open Save As in Microsoft Office application. So that is how to use the function keys on your keyboard. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to drop that in the comment section. Now, the next group of keys that we have is alphanumerics. I've already explained that all the keys, your A, B, C, D to Z, and your 1, 2, 3, your comma, and F, all of them, they are referred to as alphanumeric key. All this group, they are referred to as alphanumeric keys on the keyboard. So we have them as alphabet, number 0 to 9, the punctuation, the symbol key, the backspace, the delete key. They are all referred also to as your alphanumeric keys. Now, if you are using a phone, this is a keypad from the phone, the keyboard from the phone. You can see that it is also alphanumeric. You have all the alphabet, you have the number, and then you have all your punctuation, and then the special character key over there. So that's alphanumeric key. The next we are going to be talking about is navigation keys. These navigation keys are used to move around in your document. You have typed a document, or you are working on a web page on a browser. You want to move from one page to another. You use the navigation key. We have the arrow keys, we have the home key, we have the end key, the page up, and then the page down. As you can see on the screen, we have the page up key, the page down, then the arrow key. So these are the 4 arrow key that we have: arrow up, arrow down. Now let's start with the arrow keys. If you are working on a Microsoft Word document or any document whatsoever, if you are using the arrow key to move, if I press arrow down, the document, the cursor will be moving line by line. That means I'm moving down the document line by line. If I press the arrow up, I'm moving up the document line by line. If I use the left or the right, I'm moving to the right side or to the left side of the document character by character. Now, if you are going to page 5 and you're on page 1 in a document, and you are using the arrow down key, you know it's going to take you a longer time because it's going to move line by line. What happens if you have like 20 lines of text in a page and you are going to page 5? Imagine the number of times you are going to press the arrow down key to move. So that is why another key that will give you speed in order to move when you are moving in your document is page up and page down. Now, page up will go up the page. Okay, that will go page by page instead of line by line that the arrow key will move. Page down will also go down the page, page by page. So that will enable you to be able to navigate through your document or move around the document faster than arrow key. So depending on where you are going, if you are within a single page and you just want to move around that page, it is okay to use the arrow key. If you have multiple pages of document and you want to move from one page to another, then make use of page up or page down. Okay, then we have the home and the end key. Now, if my cursor is after at the end of this text, which is day, and I want to come to this, the beginning of the line, I can just press, if my cursor is here at the end, I can press the home key. The home key will move my cursor and jump it from here and to down here. That is where my cursor is going to be. Now, if the cursor is here and I want to come to the end there, maybe to edit day, maybe there's a mistake there, or I want to change this text entirely, I can press from here. I will need to just press the end key. My cursor will jump from here down here instead of using the arrow right or arrow left to move, which is going to move character by character until it gets here. So I'm going to press the arrow multiple times to be able to get to the end of the line. Rather, I can use the home or use the end to jump the cursor from one end on the line to the other. So that's how to use all the 5 keys that we just mentioned: at the arrow key, the home key, the end key, the page up, and the page down. Now, if you now press Ctrl Home, for example, you move to the top of the document. Okay, you remember we said the page up, page down, we move page by page. If you're on page 10 and you want to come to page 1 of a document, you don't need to be using page up in that case or page down, because that's going to move page by page. You can also move faster than using page up or page down. How do you go about that? Use Control Home or you use Control End. That will jump from the last page to the first page, or from the first page to the last page. That is how to actually use the Control plus Home, Control plus End, page up, page down, Home and End key. So that's the navigation key on the keyboard. Then the next group that we have is numeric keypad. That is if you are typing a number. Okay, you mostly use this if you are working in Excel and you are typing a number, then you use the numeric keypad. It is easier on the laptop and the desktop. There are things that you have been using regularly, so there is not really much about this. If you are going to use calculator as well on your computer, definitely you will need the numeric keypad to work, to be able to do that. Now, the last one I want to discuss is print screen. I don't know if you have used this key before. This is very important key on the keyboard in order for you to screenshot your entire screen. Now, this screen that you are seeing in front of me right now, I may want to screenshot it and work on it later. I can use a print screen. If I press the print screen on my keyboard, it's going to copy the screen, okay, copy it to the clipboard, which is actually a temporary memory, the computer memory. And then I can go to where I need it. I can open Microsoft Word and paste it there. We're going to try that on this system right now. But before we do that, if you look at the print screen, there are two kinds of keyboard that I put here. Both of them, they are actually laptop keyboard. But the way they are configured is a little bit different. This particular one, this is a Dell keyboard on the left here, and then the one on the right is for another model of a laptop. Now, in order to be able to use the print screen, you discover that there are some blue functions, blue icons on some of the keypad that we have on this keyboard, right? In order to access all the blue options that we have there, you press the function key together simultaneously with any of those keys. So if I'm going to access the print screen and I'm using this type of laptop, because this function key is already blue and then the function of print screen here is blue, I'm going to simultaneously press the function and F11 key on the keyboard. If you do that, you are activating the print screen. You are not going to use Shift F11 here because F11, they're already telling you, because of the keyboard configuration, that in order to access all the function of this blue that you can see on the keypad, use the function key in combination with the keypad that has the color in order to access them. However, if you are using the keyboard that is on the right side, all you need to do is to use the Alt key together, because you discover that the function key is not down here. So in that case, the function key, what I mean by the function key here is the Fn. So the heaven is called actually a keyboard modifier. So it enables you to be able to access it. Okay, on this as well, you are going to do Alt and then print screen in order to be able to access the print screen. Now let's try that. On my keyboard right now, I'm going to use the function key and print screen. I just print the screen. Now I go over to here. If I want to print that here, I do Control V to paste it. Now you can see. So you can actually print your screen. You can screenshot your web page or whatever page you are working on whatsoever. And then it's going to copy to your memory. And once that is done, you go and use Control V and paste it to wherever you need it. So I can go forward and edit this one from here if there is a need to do that by going to format and do whatever reference that I want to make about it. So that's how to use the print screen or key on your keyboard. The next time that you want to do a screenshot of the entire page of a particular page that you are working on, use the print screen. Thank you for taking your learning journey with me. The print screen key is the last we are going to talk about on the keyboard in this lesson. So I want to encourage you right now, if you have not subscribed to this channel, like, subscribe, and share this video with someone so they can actually learn from and then get to know when we upload another lesson. See you in the next class. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.